Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Brenda. I am so happy to have you, and if you're returning, you know I love you. Today I am so excited because I am collaborating with my friend and the person I love to watch the most, Kathy Jo with Kathy Jo DIYs. You guys, this lady's amazing. So I'll let you know more about her in a few minutes. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color white and in the color elephant. I'm going to use some decals that I created with my Cricut. I'm going to use 3 of these wood planks from Dollar Tree and some of these animal cutouts. I believe I got these on 24-hour crafts. And then I'm going to use some wood planks from Dollar Tree and then these jumbo craft sticks from Walmart. So I start off by removing the hangers, and then I'm going to lay those 2 wood planks together. I'm going to take my jumbo craft stick and I'm going to cut them, all 3 of them, in half, and then I'm going to lay them out all up and down the back of those planks so that we have a way of connecting them together. And I'm going to use my wood glue and my hot glue on those craft sticks, and then do that on each one of them. That way it's attached. After that, I took my white chalk paint and I painted the squares and the plaque white, and then I took my ink and painted the animals with that color as well. Once they were dry, I took my elephant chalk paint and I am just doing some dry brushing all along, just doing some distressing. And then after that, I'm going to distress the little white squares as well. Now, you may see there's a part that's not painted. That's because I'm going to put vinyl on it. But before I do that, I'm going to take my decal and I'm going to just place it up on the top here. And after I do that, I am going to take the Farmhouse word and I'm going to place it on the painted section or the painted side of our sign here. And then once I have this all even, took me a few minutes to get it even, I'm just going to burnish it, and there it is. Then I took my vinyl I got from Dollar Tree and I'm just placing it right under the wording at the top there. And here I'm just cutting off that extra piece so that way I can just pull the backing right off of that vinyl and then just smooth it in place. And then I just turned it over and trimmed off that extra piece that was hanging there. After that, I took my wood glue and I'm going to use some hot glue as well, and I'm putting it all around the back of the animals, and I attach them to those wood square pieces. Then after that, I'm going to take my wood plank and I'm going to do the same thing with the wood glue and the hot glue, and I'm going to attach them onto our sign, one on top of the other. And then when I was done, I just decided I didn't like the way the vinyl and the paint, there was just seemed, I don't know, it just didn't seem right. So I decided to take these bamboo or reed sticks. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're bamboo. I got them from Amazon. They are in my Amazon store, and I just cut them down to size to kind of frame everything out. And I'm just using my wood glue and hot glue again, and then I am just hot gluing them all in place. Now, as you can see, I have that one right there by the word Farmhouse that goes over the vinyl. I'm taking my wood glue and hot glue, and what do? I put them next to the squares instead of over the edging of the vinyl. And I'm like, why isn't this fitting? And then all of a sudden I realized what I did. So I tried to remove it, but it was really attached to the bottom piece there, and I didn't want to rip the vinyl, so I decided to just go ahead and re-glue it and make another strip to place at the edge of the vinyl there. Then I took some black gingham ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm using a tapestry needle here to just bring it through the holes, and then once I had it all even, I'm going to tie a knot in the back of that so that we have a hanger. And then I'm just going to kind of glue down the backs. I don't know why I did this. I am going to cover it, but I just decided to glue those down too. And then I do cover it with some shipping paper and trim off the excess, and there it is. I absolutely love the way this came out. Oh, I just think it is so pretty. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay guys, let's talk about Kathy Jo. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be collaborating with her. She is amazing. If you don't know who she is, I highly doubt that, but if you don't, you have to check her out. She makes some beautiful DIYs and she is hilarious. I always laugh when I am watching her and I never miss one of her videos. So make sure you check her out, and if you watch her video, you will subscribe if you haven't already, because she is amazing. Let her know I sent you, and yeah, so let's get on to the next one. So DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I use about 6 or 7 of these bamboo wood pieces. Then I had this balsam wood. I think I got this from Walmart. I'm not positive. And then I've got my vinyl from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use my white chalk paint as well. So I'm starting off by taking one of those wood pieces, and I'm just trimming out, well, not trimming, I'm measuring out where I want to place the door. And I'm using my ruler because I cannot draw a straight line for the life of me. And even with the ruler, I can't draw a straight line half the time. So I'm sitting there measuring to make sure it was all straight. And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing here. I'm just making sure they're all, I think it was about a 1/4 inch, I want to say, from the edge. And then I'm going to do some on the bottom as well. And then once I had that all done, I am going to trim it out using my X-Acto knife. And this wood, you guys, is super, super soft. In fact, this lantern turns out to be really light. I probably should have used a thicker wood, which I might recreate one next time doing that. But this is kind of, I wasn't quite sure how to do it. I had a picture in my mind, so this was kind of my template. But anyways, I took some more of these sticks and I'm just cutting them down to size. I want this to look like it has shiplap, but right here I'm just doing this as the trim that goes around the door. But I wanted it also to look like shiplap above it. So after I cut these out, I'm going to use my wood glue and hot glue to glue them in place before I start doing the rest of them, because I wanted these pieces to be still. So then I cut some of these sticks down to the same size, and here I'm just kind of measuring and marking where I want to cut for it to have that barn shape. I'm not a good drawer at all, and it did take me a little bit, but I think it came out pretty cute. But you know, a barn kind of has a flat roof and then angles downward, so that's what I'm trying to create here. And then once I had this all drawn out, I cut them all down with my miter shears, and then I glued them all in with my wood glue and hot glue. After that, I took 2 more of these planks, and I'm using again the wood glue and the hot glue and gluing the sides on. We're going to create a box. And then once I had these 2 pieces on, I took another piece and I cut it in half. And don't ask me why I did it this way, because now that I think about it, I'm not really sure why. I think I was thinking that way it'd be easier to put a candle in it, but I don't put a bottom on this, and so you can just place it on top. So you can do it either way. You could put a full sheet on there or a half sheet like I'm doing. And I'm just doing like I did with the other ones, using the hot glue and the wood glue. And then once I had them all attached and it was looking good, except for that one little piece, I had to add a little bit more hot glue. I decided to start on the roof. So I just took some more of that balsam wood and I'm just cutting pieces down. I didn't care if they were all the same size. I was just kind of trying to go by the front pieces, just trying to fit the angles of that. And so I cut those pieces down based off of those angle sizes, if that makes sense. So once I get this all glued in, I'm again using the wood glue and the hot glue, and I just had that gap right there, so I just added a smaller little piece. And the reason why I didn't care is because I'm going to cover it with the vinyl, but we'll show that in a little bit. But before I did that, I cut down, I had all these small pieces and I'm just cutting them down to fit underneath, because, you know, we got to have that shiplap on the bottom too. So these were really, really small pieces, and I think I just used hot glue on these, but once I had them all cut out, I just glued them all in place. And then after that, I took my white chalk paint and painted them all white, and then I painted the trim with the black. So here I also painted or cut out some pieces to make the X on the door, and I'm just going in there and hot gluing those in place on the back side of it. Then I decided to make a little window on the top, so I cut these little pieces all down to make a window and to fit, and I used my miter shears and did the angles on them and everything. And then I cut some really small pieces to go inside to make an X, and I almost didn't glue them because they fit in there so tightly, but when I used my marker to kind of paint them, I decided to go ahead and add a little dab of hot glue and then glued them inside. Then I'm just kind of touching up where I got some black on the white, and after that, this is where I added the roof. I realized, oh, I forgot to do the vinyl on the roof. So here I'm just taking pieces off and placing them, trimming it all down on the edges, and I'm just making sure that like the colors match. I think I did, except for the very first piece, I didn't do that part. But you know what? You don't really can't really notice. And not only that, it's Farmhouse, right? Nothing on Farmhouse is exact. So after I had the pieces all on and trimmed down, that was all there was for it. And I think it came out really, really cute. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one. You could always add a bottom on it if you would want. I decided not to, but I love it. And I think it gives me an idea for some future projects. So if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find links to my social media accounts as well as other accounts that I'm affiliated with in the link tree in my description box below. So here's DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my COUTURE chalk paste in the color Bright White, my chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree, this COUTURE transfer. This is called Farmhouse tile pattern. And then this sign I got from Hobby Lobby last year after the 4th of July. It was like 75% off. So I got it for like around $4. And so I'm going to start off by removing that galvanized piece. Now it had a little nail on each end, but they came out really easy. I'm just using my Cricut spatula here, just going underneath to loosen all that glue. And it didn't take much pressure to pull up, and that little nail pops right out. But then once I have this all off, and it will just be 1 second here and it will be off, then I'm going to paint it. I paint the front and the back with my chalkboard paint. Then I'm just going to take my transfer here. Now our transfers, if you're not familiar with COUTURE, they are adhesive. So we do want to fuzz it so that way it doesn't, it's not so strong that it pulls up the paint or stretches out the transfer. And I have to admit, I did this and I did not fuzz it enough, because when I pulled it up, it did pull off some of the paint. Plus I used some older chalk paste that was already thick and it just looked nasty. So the nice thing about this was I just took it and washed it off, repainted it, and reapplied it, and it came out perfectly the second time. So here I'm just laying it on there. This is the second time. I'm taking my good chalk paste and I'm just using my squeegee to go all the way around this print. Now this is a huge transfer, and I'm using my mini squeegee, and I realized, what am I doing? I have a bigger squeegee. I should be using that so it will go faster, because if you don't go very fast, that chalk paste can dry and then it will pull up with your transfer. So here I'm just pulling up the part that I did and then laying it down loosely so it doesn't pull up that dried chalk paste. Then I took my bigger squeegee here and I'm just going over the rest of it. As you can see, I did tape off my sign there because I didn't want to go past that point. So I just watching as I'm putting on the paste to make sure I don't go past that tape. And then I pull it off, and oh, it is so beautiful. I love this transfer. And while that was drying, I painted my welcome sign with my white, and then I'm just using some super glue and hot glue to glue it in place. And after that, I'm going to create a bow. But first, if you're new here, I want to say welcome. I am so glad you stopped by today. If you are enjoying today's video and if you like home decor on a budget, thrift flips, holiday decor, gift ideas, then I would invite you to hit that red subscribe button and become part of our family. And then let me know in the comment box that you are new here. I love to get to know my subscribers, and make sure you hit that notification bell and set it to all so you're notified whenever I upload a video, which usually is on Mondays at 5. Unless I am participating in challenges, then I will add some days to my week as well. And if you guys like today's video, don't forget to give me that thumbs up and comment. That does help my channel grow, and that way YouTube's algorithm will push my videos out for more people to see. So once I had my bow made by doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle, tying the twine around it, I fluffed it and dovetailed it. I'm now adding some Boxwood Greenery right behind. I'm putting it right between the ribbon and the twine there. And then I am just going to hot glue that right on top of my sign. I love this, guys. As you can see on the bottom, I had clips. I was just clipping down where the hot glue and giving it time to set. But I love this sign. I used the hanger that came off of it. I'm hot gluing it down, and then I'm going to take the parts of the ribbon that I cut off when I dovetailed it, and I'm just going to cover the ends with that. And after that, I think I'm done. You could cover the back if you want. I may go back and cover the back with some shipping paper. Haven't decided, but yeah, that's all there is for this one. And I'm sorry, I kept that on there for so long, showing me holding that down. Oh my goodness. I was talking to my son while I was editing, and it was a really good talk. So I guess I just spaced it. Okay, so here it is. I absolutely love how this came out. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And again, I am a chalk couture designer, so if you have any questions, you can always email me. I'd be happy to answer it, or check out my link that's in the description box below too for my chalk couture page. Okay, so a celebration of your recreation, and Opal Jean has been busy. She created this little plaque for her craft room. It is so cute. Thank you so much, Opal Jean, for sending me your pictures. I really love receiving them. And if you have any creations or recreations that you would like me to showcase, you can email them to me, or you can send them to me on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, and you have links or my email address in the description box below. Okay, so here is the last DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I'm going to use some of this metal ribbon I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use some tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. I am going to use some Finial caps. I think I got these from Walmart. I'm going to use this bamboo wood cutting board from Dollar Tree, and then my Waverly chalk paints in the color Plaster and Elephant. So I'm starting off by making the legs for my riser that we're making, and I'm just using wood glue and hot glue, and I'm gluing 2 pieces together just like you see there. And after I do that, I'm going to do all 4, and I guess I don't even know how to say, I have glue on the edge of one, and then I'm just gluing it up to the front of the other one. I guess that's how you would say it. Anyways, after I have 4 of those made, I am just going to attach them to my cutting board by adding the wood glue and the hot glue to the top of those legs, and then and then holding them in place. And again, the hot glue is for the immediate hold. The wood glue is for the permanent hold. And that one, it felt like it was a little loose, so I just added some hot glue in the middle, which you could do, or in the back for any of them if you wanted. And then after that, I took those Finial caps, and I am just using my wood glue and hot glue again and adding them onto the bottom of those legs to be the feet. And I think maybe I just used wood glue. I thought I used hot glue. Anyway, so after that, I took some of this metal ribbon, and I'm just measuring them down to size and cutting them out. And then I use since it's metal, I used super glue in the middle, and then just a little bit of hot glue on the edges to keep it in place. And then after I did that, I did set it aside for a little bit to let the to really set in. And then when it was ready, I took my plaster chalk paint and gave it all a good brushing of plaster. And then once that was dry, I took my elephant and I am just distressing all around that. And that's all there is for this. It's super easy, but I think it is adorable. I love the little lace trim there. Oh, I just love this riser. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And make sure you check out Kathy's video and her channel. I'll have links to both in my description box, and tell her I sent you. And then I don't know what else to say other than here's the final reveal. I love these. You'll have to let me know which one you like, which was your favorite. And again, if you recreate any, I'd love to see pictures of them. And again, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go, and then let me know in the comment box you are new here. And with all that, guys, I will be back again on Monday with another farmhouse video. So have those notification bells set and have a truly blessed weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.